We visited Red Barn Blooms during an absolute torrential downpour, but let me tell you, that did not dampen our day. This is Red Barn Blooms in Beaver Dam, Kentucky. It's run by Lisa Patton with the help of her family. Lisa takes pride in growing the flowers she says your grandmother might have grown, rather than just the things easily found at the grocery store. She can say this because she is literally growing plants her grandmother grew. Lisa has many perennial plants she acquired from her grandmother, who also gave Lisa a passion for growing and a love of flowers, especially peonies. Being able to build a legacy for her children using tools from her grandmother is a full circle moment for Lisa. In addition to heirloom plants, this farm has everything: a silo-inspired metal pergola, a tobacco stick fence, a cute, quaint greenhouse made from repurposed windows, and of course, a red barn. We had the honor of filming in the newly finished greenhouse, which was so magical amongst the rain, and here's a little sneak peek of the arrangement that Dakota is going to get into right now.
Hi everyone, today we're here at Red Barn Blooms here in Beaver Dam, Kentucky, and we're going to be making an arrangement, kind of a light and airy country arrangement in this beautiful urn. So they've got a great variety of interesting greenery that we're going to start out with. I'm going to start out with some apple and spearmint. I just want to kind of make a base. I have the floral foam down in here. I've set it kind of low instead of all the way up to the top because I kind of want this to be kind of airy and kind of flowy. So I want that down so I don't have such tall structure. I'm just going to give, varying heights of this greenery. I'm going to make sure I cover the foam, but I don't want to do just a big ball of greenery down here at the bottom. I've got a nice base all the way around with some in the middle. I don't have any real tall yet. I think I'm going to move to the Baptisia to give me a little height while also staying a little airy. So I'm going to place those in there like so. Maybe one more piece coming out on this side. Yeah, so using herbs like mint, I've seen rosemary used in fresh arrangements before, as well as any other type of herb. I know some people will use basil. It just adds a nice fragrance. This mint gives it a really fresh scent. It smells like you're out in the garden, which we are. We're here in this beautiful greenhouse made out of windows. It's just gorgeous. And next I'm going to start with some of the snapdragons. Look at this gorgeous snapdragon. So I'm going to choose this spot over on the side. I'm going to press that in. And we'll rotate. I'm going to grab another of the same color. Maybe do it a little higher. I don't want my darkest color to be my top. And we'll go with one more, maybe down lower on this side. Okay, now I'm going to switch to this beautiful lavender color. And get one down low. And I want to do my highest bloom next. You can see I've kind of tilted my the blooms where they drape. I've tilted them out, so this kind of looks like it's blooming or bursting out of the urn. Speaking of which, I got to turn this one because I had it flipped. And next I want to switch to these gorgeous peonies. I'm going to do a couple of those down at the bottom to give me a nice weight. I'm going to angle these so they look like they're spilling out the side. When you're doing something really loose like this, you can tuck these larger flowers deep inside. It gives dimension to your arrangement without completely keeping everything on one plane. By tucking things deep inside, it looks like more natural, how things tend to bloom in nature. With some on the inside, some on the outside. And I think that's good for now. I'll probably add a peony that's not opened up so much up higher as I continue on, but I want to add these pink snaps as well. We're just doing a nice mix of snaps, 3 different colors, which all go well together. And then one more back here, and then we'll give it a spin to see how our shape is. I think this snap might be out a little too far, so I'm going to pull that one out carefully. And remember, when we use foam, we have to watch creating too many holes, and also we want to recut our stem. Okay, and I'm just going to press that in gently this time. So now I'm going to fill in with some more greenery. We've got this pretty crepe myrtle, which is an interesting choice for greenery, but I think it works with this. It's going to give us a different texture and a more rigid structure than some of the Baptisia in that mint. Also, it has a nice, almost red tint to it once it's in here with the flowers. So that adds some different texture and definition. Okay. And then I'm just going to press that in gently this time. So now I'm going to fill in with some more greenery. We've got this pretty crepe myrtle, which is an interesting choice for greenery, but I think it works with this. It's going to give us a different texture and a more rigid structure than some of the Baptisia in that mint. Also, it has a nice, almost red tint to it once it's in here with the flowers. So that adds some different texture and definition. I'll put one on this side because I can see my foam. Okay, and now I want to fill in with some of these finer textured flowers. Let's see, so I've got some pretty Veronica, some white Veronica. I'm going to place a couple of those throughout. Veronica is great because it flows so nicely. Maybe one back here. A different height. So I'm constantly rotating this one because this is one we don't want a front, so we want all around 360. Let's see, I've got some salvia here as well. This might add a different color for us. I might just add a few hints of this in a couple of spots. Also, it's going to add to that minty smell almost. So this arrangement would be great on, maybe a entryway table if you've got an open house or a dinner party you're hosting. You could also do up a couple of these for the altar at church, or maybe one for the entryway at church for a special occasion. Or if you just wanted to brighten someone's day, this would be a great way to. It's such a grand arrangement. Next, I'm going to add this Orlea, which is almost reminds me of like a Queen Anne's lace, but on a smaller scale with a much wider color. It's really pretty, and so I'm going to put some of these on the outside of my plane. So, I stuck the peonies in deeper, but even though this is a flat flower, not a spike, I might still put a couple on the outside. Not as far out as some of the spikes, but since it's really airy, we want to add it to give us a little more shape and definition. See, I'll add one back here before I rotate. And this one has a perfect curve, so I'm going to stick it behind the peony here, but it's kind of going to sit in front of it, but not block it. And I'm thinking I want to add some more of the salvia. This looks like a different type, but I want to add some more of this purpley blue color on this side. And maybe one over here for balance. We're not being symmetrical, we're not, painting by numbers, but we're trying to keep things fairly even, especially with color. You don't want maybe white on one side without pulling it to the other side. I've got some of this gorgeous phlox, and so this, we don't really have yellow, but you can see at the tips of these snaps, there's kind of a yellow color, and then the center kind of pulls from here. So we're going to use some of that to kind of connect our colors. And these I might tuck in a little deeper. Now I'm going to take a little step back and see how my shape is. And with this, I actually want to go a little higher. So I'm going to grab one more with the lavender and see maybe I can get it to stay a little taller. Maybe in a different position. And then, let's see, we'll add another pink on this side. And this is always about trial and error. So if you need to move something, as long as you haven't cut it too short, feel free to move it around until it finds its home. Now I'm going to look for holes and fill in with some more of this white. Put it down in there. And I might add just a few, down real low to give me some of that color. Now I could have done my highest point right in the center, and we would have had more of a cone shape, but I like this asymmetrical shape, so that's what we did, and it looks good. I'm just going to finish tucking in a few pieces of greenery. Maybe some of it can spill out. And I can create some eye movement downward. Okay, I wanted to add another peony bloom. This one hasn't opened up yet, so this would actually make your arrangement last longer. But I'm going to tuck it in over here so that when it does open up, it's kind of got a little more room to open. And you don't always have to use fully bloomed flowers as well. Some things will last a long time if you're able to place them in your arrangement before they're completely open. I'm going to finish this out with the pink yarrow, and I've got a few pink sweet pea just to add as much variety to that. That's a key in when you're designing like a garden arrangement or something in the wildflower look. Variety. You're not going to come across a large patch of one single flower out in the wild. You might, but it would make a super great arrangement. And then we'll get a 360 view of it and make sure everything looks great. It looks like we gathered everything from the garden this morning, which it was. That's what you get when you buy locally grown Kentucky cut flowers. Growers pick in the morning and then they go to market. So it was picked fresh. It's going straight to your home, and it's going to last a lot longer than things would from a florist or a flower shop.
A big thank you to Lisa of Red Barn Blooms for having us out to her gorgeous farm. If you want to check them out, be sure to support them at the Ohio County Farmers Market, the Daviess County Farmers Market, or grab a flower subscription or arrangement at a boutique in Beaver Dam.